Okay, so I'm looking at charts and stuff. I'm going to show you, I got some homemade charts that I've been making. The reason why I do that is because I can do my own technical analysis on them, because I can't write on a computer screen. Not yet. So, where am I at here? Let me see, I'm trying to get organized. There was a couple of new currencies that I've been splitting the Bitcoin into. I bought the Doggy coin and the World coin and some Quarks. So let's try this NameCoin thing, alright? So I'm going to look up a chart for it. Where am I at right now? I'm at CoinPlorer. CoinPlorer. Alright, so anyway. I'm going to look up the NameCoin denominated in Bitcoins. Because I have Bitcoin, and I'm trying to diversify it, really. So I'm just taking fractions of the Bitcoin and buying some of the smaller upcoming currencies with it. And I'm just going to buy and hold. That's all. So here's the chart. I'm going to zoom out as far as I can. And actually it's this way. So it looks like their chart information goes all the way back to June. Okay, so let's see what happened here. This stuff comes out, it's worth like a 5,000th of a Bitcoin, and it seems to be pretty steady for a while, and then it drops in September. Okay, so that's pretty cool. That's a pretty long run of it being kind of boring. That must have been really annoying, like holding that for 2 months at the same price while it slowly goes down. Okay, anyway. So now we have some action starting to go on, and alright, so sometime in the middle of October it tanks, and November, late November, early December it tanks again, and just when you think there's no hope, all of a sudden, what the hell is all this? Oh man, so something really special happened over here, and let's just call this first period the getting started period, the losing faith period, the oh crap, I gotta get out of this period before we get some bubbles happening. So now I'm going to readjust the chart, and I'm going to have it start just when things get interesting, which would be about September. So what's that, about 3 months ago? I'm going to click on the 3-month thing. And there we go. Okay, so we get something like this. So here's the fun part. I'm going to grab some scrap paper, which I have tons of, and I'm simply going to draw that, okay? So it goes in this little curvy line, goes down more, it stays steady, and there you have a little hump, goes down a little bit, and then whoa, up to the all the way up there. Then it comes down a lot, and then since it's been trickling down a little bit, it goes back up a little bit, and then it goes back up a little bit, and that's where we're at right now. So now I'm going to look at the details. Okay, I'm going to look on the screen and find out what was happening. This turning point, the lowest it got before it turned on us, when was that, and what was the price? It was November 17th, 0.00125. So I'm going to write that over here. November 17th at 0.00125. That's the lowest that it can go. It can be pretty safe to say that this will not go lower than that. It never did. I mean, well, we don't have any information before a certain point. And since then, anyway, let's take a look at the highest of the high and see what happens on that. So I'm going to take the mouse over and go click on. So at the peak of this, it went on Thursday, November 28th. Was that Thanksgiving? Why does this stuff always happen on holidays? Well, because the stock exchange is closed, but Bitcoin is always open. So while the family's talking and watching football, you can be trading online trying to make some money. It was 0071. So we have an ultimate high of 0071. But that's bubble territory. I mean, we can only for a brief period of time were we were able to enjoy selling at that price. So I would really like to cut it off like around there and just say that that doesn't even count. So let's find out what this is. This is what I like to think of as a more of a realistic kind of high. 0.079. Oh, well, I read this wrong. Up at this peak up there, I should be reading the number on the right, which is the absolute high. 0.01559. But like I said, only for like a split second were you able to actually enjoy that price. You were really lucky if you put an order in and someone went for it. 559, something like that. So this, my real high that I was talking about, that's our 0079-ish, kind of around there. So since then, goes up and down a little bit. I want to find out what this low, this is the most recent low, and that's relevant, the most recent low. Let's see here, I'm going to zoom in for you. At the bottom of this valley. Come on, stay. Okay, at its very lowest, 0.00457 on December 18th. So I'm going to write that in. December 18th, 0.00457-ish, something like that. But, again, this is just like a really brief thing. It's really, you gotta average out this kind of stuff. So I like to draw like a few lines that kind of like suggest averages around there. Okay. And this, we just have an average trend going. If I look at it diagonally, we could connect that with that, saying, oh man, this goes straight down. I don't want to draw too many trend lines. People get really annoyed at that, about guys who get stuck in the charts. You don't want to get stuck in the charts. Okay, so anyway, this is the all-time low, and we had this period of stability, kinda, that was going around for a while. So now's here where I try to think of bubble territory, right? Like I try to think of everything was held steady for a while, and then we had this everybody losing faith and jumping off kind of thing, but you should have held on. Around there, you would have made your money back. And anybody who bought in after this point obviously got screwed. Although we're still past this line. Let's see what this point was here. What was the high before we had that long decline? And I'm going to go for an average high. I'm not going to look at that peak. I'm going to look, say... that kind of looks like an average. So what number is that? In between those two, I could round that at 0.00415 is what I would say. 0.00415. So that's what I would call the last known stable price, because it's been unstable since then. I mean, it's been changing all the time. When was that? When did it start changing? The slow decline really began around like the middle of October. October 14th. So what are we doing over here? I mean, we still don't know. Okay, well, this is slightly higher. The most recent low is still slightly higher than that period of stability we had. This was the time to get in. This was probably the last high, and all this was the time to get in, really. But how would you know that? I mean, during hindsight's 2020, during this time, you were probably thinking, "Oh no, this stuff's on the way out." So then this happens. So how do I know what kind of price to buy at? Oh crap. In a case like this, I would either assume, you can only guess, you know? You could think, you could try to draw trend lines, thinking like, okay, well this was this spike, you know, but then it averages out to go up to here. What can you do? It's all guessing at this point. It was pretty easy on the rolled coin that I thought that's the most realistic low you could buy at, and you shouldn't buy any higher than this line. You know, because these peaks, these are just temporary things. So I came up with like a little range, thinking, hey, it's reasonable to buy between these. I did the same thing for Quark, saying, hey, in between, you know, any higher than this, any lower than this. You see what I'm doing here? And I did it the same thing with the doggy coin, which is actually where it's at right now, seems to be the most fair price. Because this thing seemed to start, when they started tracking it, it was already out of control. And since they've been tracking it, it tanked. Went back up a little bit, now it's leveled out and it's been surprisingly stable. But this is only, this is not even 1 month of data. This is barely 10 days of data. This thing is just starting to take. So anyway, where it's at right now, that's kind of weird how it looks like it's just beginning to get stable. I'm going to go back to, okay, doggy, Quark, rolled coin. So what are we looking at? We're looking at NameCoin, right? And that's NMC. So this dotted line right here, I would make this my buy line, but it hasn't gone that low yet. So what's the if this trend line continues, it might end up eventually averaging with that. But what if this trend line continues, right? The average of this going, you know, this could just keep going up and up and up and up and up forever. Who knows? But that's why I'm getting in. But how do I get in? I have some limit orders. I have some orders, and it's priced below. It might even be lower than that. What I was asking for. What did I ask for? Well, that doesn't make any sense because that's even lower than. I'm gonna look up something. I want to know. Open orders. Over here, I'm on Cryptsy. What did I get? What did I get? Okay, here's my NameCoin. Okay, I was trying to get it at 0.0066666, which after, it's a good thing I did this analysis, because I think that would be an overpriced position, even though where it's at right now. The order hasn't even been executed yet because the current price is higher than that. I think it would be a good idea to be patient and wait for it to go back down. But you don't want to miss the boat. What if it's going to keep going up forever and it never ever hits this price ever again? You know, this is a relatively recent thing. This is brand new that this is starting to happen. But just like the way Bitcoin did after, remember that one summer when it hit 30? And then it just went to almost nothing after that, and ever since we had a, hey, this could be one of those things. You know, this could go down to even lower than that next week. Who knows? It's a gamble. That's why this stuff is crazy. It's like, this is what trading is, why it's exciting, because it's a gamble. You got to make educated guesses. What would you do here? What do you think is a fair price? I'm actually thinking of canceling that order and putting another one in for lower and just waiting. But I guess we're gonna have to zoom in here and do a whole analysis, because we had, I mean, this spike is a game changer. Alright, stay tuned for more.